Welcome to Sell Your Books Saturday. Today's quote comes from Robert Strauss, who said, "Success is a little like wrestling a gorilla. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when the gorilla is tired." And that is as true when you're writing your book as it is to when you're selling your book. Hi, my name is Christopher Diarmani, and I help authors go from blank page to finished first draft to published book with ease. And while I normally show up here every day at 3 o'clock, today was one of those days where best laid plans don't really matter in the terms of the grand scheme of my life. So better late than never, but here we are. And I thank you for watching the replay, since odds are you're not showing up live today. One of the great challenges of writers is that, how do I want to phrase this most succinctly? I guess just like I put on the slides. Being a best writing author doesn't get your books paid. That doesn't get your bills paid. Being a best-selling author is what accomplishes that. And there's lots of writers out there who are really profitable at their writing, best-selling authors, who will happily admit, I may not be the best writer, but I know how to sell books. And that's the key difference, right? Their royalty checks, I think, prove otherwise. If they weren't good writers, maybe not great, but if they weren't good, if they didn't tell a story compellingly, if they didn't solve a problem with their book that people need solved, they wouldn't be selling so many books, right? Simple truth. They wrote books the readers wanted, they marketed their books relentlessly, and both of those efforts were rewarded with massive sales. That's kind of how it works. And the problem that most of us face is that we don't want to do the effort required to sell our books. So I want to just give you a really quick, really simple blueprint for book marketing success. It's not rocket science, it's just simple common sense. Write a book that addresses a specific problem and solves that problem. And make sure that you write it in a way that solves that problem in a compelling, gripping way that actually delivers a solution that people need in their lives. When you do that, and you make sure you keep putting your book in front of people who have that problem, if your book is written well and you've addressed the subject and it solves the problem, you will sell books. That's just how it works, right? And you can put it in front of people in as many ways as you can every single day, whether you feel like it or not. I'm going to go back to that same concept of personal responsibility. Doing what I said I would do, whether I feel like it, when I said I would do it, whether I feel like it or not. That applies equally to writing your book as it does to marketing your book. It truly, truly does. So design a detailed action plan for marketing your book. Write down all the different ways that you want to help get your book in front of the ideal reader for you. I also like to call this your marketing roadmap for success, because when you have a detailed plan, it's just so much easier to do the thing that needs to be done, right? And of course, as you do with writing, you need to apply great big buckets full of persistence, commitment, and dedication to make sure you keep doing those things every single day, that you're marketing your book every single day to people most likely to buy it and read it. Like I said, this isn't rocket science. It's not rocket surgery either, for that matter. This is simple, common sense ways of making sure that you sell your book to the people who most need it. Execute elements of your plan every single day and don't stop. Notice there was nothing beyond that. Don't stop for 6 weeks. Don't stop for 6 months. No, don't stop. Keep doing it every single day for the rest of your life, for as long as you want to be selling this book. Because the second that you stop doing these things every single day is the day that your book stops selling. Ask anyone who has taken the time to write and publish a book, if you haven't done that already, and they will tell you, if I'm not presenting at a conference, I'm not selling my book. If I'm not talking to my readers online, I'm not selling my book. If I'm not on a podcast, I'm not selling my book. There's all kinds of ways to go about this, but they all require commitment, dedication, and persistence, just like writing a book does. The same principle applied in a different area. That's all it is. So hopefully, and of course, repeat every single day, as long as you want that book to sell. So I hope this made some sense, and I hope this gave you some inspiration and some motivation to start doing the things even before your book is written that will help get your book in front of the people most likely to read it, most likely to be helped by it, and most likely to buy it. That's really all there is to it. all there is to it, he says, as if it was so simple. It is simple. We just don't do it, right? So one of the things I would love for you to do, beyond liking, sharing, and commenting on the video that you just watched, but to connect with me would be to connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, and all my social media accounts. You can find them all at sleekbio.com/Christopher. One simple link to get to all those things, really, really easy. And so when you decide that it's time to start talking about your book in public, whether you've begun writing it already or not, whether you've already published it or not, just remember that you're not going to achieve that success when you want. It's going to be when the gorilla's done with you. And the gorilla probably ain't going to be done with you for quite some time. So embrace this process. Make sure that you build it into your daily life and that you schedule those things on your calendar, because as I talk about all the time, if it's not scheduled, it's not going to get done, and that means you're not selling your books. That's kind of the cold, hard reality of all this, right? So hopefully that was useful, and I would love... Oh, I hit a wrong button. No, I didn't. Anyways, technology problem. I should have just done this I found a way to do this at 3 o'clock and not at 9 o'clock at night or whatever this is. Anyways, have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you again at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Life should be back on its regularly scheduled plan by then. And until then, have a great rest of your evening and have a enjoyable tomorrow morning. All right, bye for now.